Thanksgiving 1976, Robbie Robertson from the band and Bill Graham, who, of course, many of our listeners know from the Fillmore East and West. Well, they put together this amazing final show, the band's last waltz at Winterland in San Francisco, with a legendary group of performers who were part of it. Martin Scorsese, of course, did the film for it. And this morning, we're talking with Rostafa, who's put together for the second year, a fundraiser in Montclair. This is the farewell concert, the last waltz. Mustafa, good morning first, and welcome to WDHA. How different is this year's show from last year's show?
First of all, Jim, it's nice to be back here on WDHA, one of my favorite radio stations to listen to my favorite rock songs. Well, basically, this year is bigger. I mean, again, if you're going to do something again, no matter what it is, you want to try to do it bigger, better than you ever did it before. Just to give a little backstory. So last year, I, along with about 50 musicians all across from the North Jersey area, decided that we wanted to put on a production of The Last Waltz. Now, mind you, I've been wanting to do the show for a long time. There are a lot of people that I know that are my friends that do it all across New Jersey. There's even band tribute bands that tour with this. There's even people that have done it nationwide and even in Canada for a long time. There's just something about this production, this show, that brings people together, especially around Thanksgiving time. And I always say it in my post, it's a Thanksgiving tradition. It's no different from, like, when somebody puts on another radio station and all of a sudden they hear Allison's Restaurant or something like that, because it just comes a part of the Americana culture and foundation. And the band exemplify Americana. They exemplify that coming of age of where everything was broken down in all of their parts and then put back together again, especially coming out of the acid rock sort of kind of phase, as everybody knows about the band. So last year, basically, it only took me, and I'm still shocked by this, it took me 3 months to put together this production of all these characters and promote it and groom it and nurture it from the ground up. But we couldn't have done it without all of our sponsors, which we'll get to a little bit later. But the main callus of all this coming together was mainly that, I've always wanted to do it, always wanted to see it, in my area, specifically in the West Orange, Montclair, Essex County area, because in other areas such as Hudson County, which they do every year at White Eagle Hall, the band, I believe, does a show here and there over at SOPAC, and other different places, even around the United States. So I felt like it would just be a really good idea to try and collect as many of my friends that are musicians, performers, artists that I admire or that I have a relationship with, and put them all in the room at the same time, on the same day, the same night, and have a go at it. Because again, it really shows the power of people coming together, especially during a time such as this. And this year alone, I mean, we had 50 musicians last year in this complete, utter chaotic but also fun build up. But now, and this is not necessarily breaking news, but we have multiplied our efforts and have over 75 plus musicians this year.
And we should point out that the show this year is on Saturday, November 16th, and it's taking place at the Montclair Art Museum. And it is a fundraiser for Tony's Kitchen. Tell us about Tony's Kitchen, Mustafa.
Yeah, so Tony's Kitchen has been an organization since the late 80s, I believe. And they're more than just a soup kitchen, a food kitchen. They're also really a resource center. For a lot of people who don't know about Tony's Kitchen, it's located at a church in St. Luke's in Montclair. Not far away from the Montclair Public Library, not far away from Bloomfield Avenue, which is like the main hub where everything happens. And they are a wonderful organization that helps people that are in need, especially those that are not financially doing well, or basically doesn't have any finances at all. I know a lot of people, both from West Orange and Montclair, that have benefited from Tony's Kitchen for quite a number of years. And I even made it a point to the council that this is more than just, as Robbie Robertson put it, this is more than just a concert. It's a celebration, but it's also reminding people that the ugly in the world, in which some people have found themselves in, whether it be not being able to have enough food, or not having proper warm clothing, or not even having a job, is essential, because it's more than just a homeless issue. It's more than just a housing issue. It's more than just just a lack of not having the resources, but it's also really mental health, which we're starting to really dive deeper in the last couple decades, and it's no joke. And it's funny, somebody once told me that, because he was a former addict, and he said to me, when you are in that mindset of helplessness and don't know what to do, and people are looking at you saying, oh, they enjoy being screwed up, and no, they're not happy. And no matter what trauma they've dealt with in their life, or obstacles that they've done in their or gone through in their life, no matter what it is, it's essential to know that there are people that care, even if you don't know their name, which is fine, because I'm not trying to be a guy trying to just put my name out there for the sake of putting my name out there for a night such as this, because there's a lot of people that I see even on the street, even in communities that are wealthy, like Montclair, or various other different places that I've been to in New Jersey, or elsewhere. And it's a problem where we don't want to see helplessness, homelessness, or any kind of mental barriers displayed to the point where it can be in danger to the individual as well as anybody else that's around. And we want to kind of bring unconditional love to people that don't have access, let alone experience it on a daily basis, due to the fact of how they appear, or how they act, or what have you.
If you go to the Tony's Kitchen website, which, by the way, is tonyskitchen.org, you see on the website, suburban hunger is surprising, hidden, and remarkably diverse. And especially, in this area, we don't think about it a whole lot because we're in a pretty affluent area, whether it's Morris County, Essex County, Somerset County, we're definitely in there. But food insecurity, and it comes to mind this time of year as we approach Thanksgiving and the holidays, but food insecurity is a problem year round, and not just in poorer areas.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, and I really don't understand how some people can just go statistically, and again, I'm just going to use the obvious with people of my complexion, that they are probably the most applicable peoples in order to experience those hard times. And just to let you know, almost every race category falls in the same dilemma. And again, some numbers could be higher than others in certain areas, but again, affluent areas, as you pointed out, yes, they also experience these kind of hardships. And again, for example, I was just down in Philadelphia a number of months ago, and what's ironic over there, I mean, yes, you heard, like, horror stories and this and that, blah blah blah, but even in downtown, which is actually a very affluent area and actually a pretty safe area, even in that section experience hardship. And this is like the lower class peoples that go through this. And even in Washington, D.C., which is our nation's capital, the amount of neglect to people that are down and out is absolutely atrocious and unforgivable. And it hurts me, because I'm a guy who happened to fall into the arts, who happened to fall into this thing that I love of communication through the arts and through this type of thing. And I guess you can say I'm an activist in that respect, but this is more so an idea that when people say, like, you could be anything in America, or you can accomplish anything in America. Well, the thing is that we're kind of neglecting our own people. And you constantly have to keep reminding people that, okay, maybe somebody fell into something that was completely horrible, and it was probably a bad decision, but ultimately, though, that still doesn't mean you still don't wear your heart on your sleeve. And that doesn't mean being taken advantage of, but at the same time, though, that still means to still have your feet firm in the ground and put one foot forward and say, okay, I'm going to spend my time, which is the ultimate currency, in helping somebody. And again, I want to just preface this too, I'm not in this to make money, because actually I'm not making a dime off this event, and nobody in the ensemble is making a dime off of this event. Every single individual that is contributing something to this event is doing this out of the kindness of their heart, when many of these guys tour, actually, and are on the road, or they're flying out somewhere, or they have 9 to 5s, or they have corporate jobs even. So these are people that are sharing what I want to kind of showcase, which, by the way, you know what I mean? This is something that is accessible to the public. This is not a private event. This is not one of those $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 plate dinners that politicians go to. This is accessible for everybody. And this is also a way to communicate through music and also through our community in general at large to start a conversation all over again, because it shouldn't just be a thing where once a year because it's the holidays we should give. This should be a 24/7, 365, including leap year kind of thing.
It's Saturday, November 16th at the Montclair Art Museum, a fundraiser for Tony's Kitchen, recreating the last waltz. Rostafa, for listeners who want more information, where can they go?
Okay, so you can go to tonyskitchen.org for more information on how you can buy tickets. You can also buy tickets by going to my social media handles, which is at ROSTAFA101. That's Rostafa101 at ROSTAFA101 on both Facebook and Instagram. In Instagram, you go to my bio and you'll see a link to Square, which is essentially where we're selling our tickets at. I'm happy to say that we're doing pretty well on ticket sales, but again, this is open to anybody in the state of New Jersey, in the state of New York, anywhere you're listening, anywhere you can get access to this interview, that you can purchase a ticket, which, by the way, all ticket purchases go towards Tony's Kitchen and also to various other miscellaneous things that we're doing for the production, because we moved up quite a bit from Porta last year, which is on Bloomfield Avenue. It's a beautiful double-decker bar that also has a residency as well in Jersey City and Asbury Park. But this time, Montclair Art Museum, which has upped their game in terms of the way that Leir Hall sounds, which is the hall in which we're going to be performing the last waltz. And it's a spectacular building. It's a spectacular area. And also, it's a great way to kind of come to Montclair and experience Montclair that day with a bunch of different activities and a bunch of different styles of just culture that people need to be exposed to, various different types of restaurants. And by the way, on the day of the event, at the event, we're going to be having a couple vendors. One of them is going to be Tony's Kitchen, and they're going to be serving their food, and you can still also donate to them as well. But also Montclair Brewery, which is a local black-owned brewery in Montclair, and they're fantastic. They got great selections. Will also be at Montclair Art Museum, and we have a couple other different surprises along the way. I mean, I don't know if you don't mind me saying this, but do you mind if I kind of give away a couple of our ensemble members that are going to be involved?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we have the fabulous Flemtones, who are a staple at the Montclair's Tierney's Tavern, and they've been doing that for almost up to about 40 years up until this point. And they are great friends of mine. Definitely come out to see them. Ed Alstrom, he plays organ for the New York Yankees. This is another reason why I'm wearing my Yankee jersey. Go Yanks. Maxine Alstrom is also his wife. She'll be performing and doing a couple things. Big Mambo, which is a great New Orleans band. They're going to be playing on some of the New Orleans stuff. Bard Band, amazing jam band. TK Walker Band, all the way from Bergen County. The Bailey Brothers, Jamie Rivera Jr., George Orlando, Chris Smith. Mark Bowers. Now, if you don't know who Mark Bowers is by now, you should. He also plays for the Manhattans, but he's also sat in with people like Prince, I believe Gladys Knight, Christina Aguilera. He's played with the best, and he'll be there as well. Also, Carlos Hayes, who also owns Richie's Music, which is over in Rockaway. Please go give him a visit. He'll hook you up with anything you need. I mean, the talent roster is just absolutely sick. I'm very happy that most of these people said yes, or at least all of them said yes. And we also want to thank all of our sponsors. We want to thank the General Corner Store, Bergen American Furs, Well in Montclair, Precision, Parents Who Rock, Indie Arts Montclair, Montclair Mutual Aid, Red Root, Sankofa Cafe, Village Square Realtors, JC Music Productions, Bard Roofing and Exteriors, Wets of Hudson, Fume Cigar Shop, Montclair Flowers, True Value Hardware Store. Just amazing. Oh, Pamela Coop, I have to give her credit too, because she's been an amazing co-conspirator. Watch on Booksellers, Montclair Book Center. Just amazing people. And I just want to say to anybody that would like to become a sponsor, you still can actually. You won't be able to necessarily make the physical poster, but I could try to scoop you onto the virtual one. Just contact me at lastwaltzshow@gmail.com. That's lastwaltzshow@gmail.com. This is going to be a really exciting event. Tickets are still on sale now. They will be $50 at the door, but you can get them for $40 in advance. And if you're a Montclair Arts Museum member, you can get them for a discount at $32. So please get your tickets now.
It is Saturday, November 16th, the fundraiser in Montclair at the Montclair Art Museum for Tony's Kitchen. The Last Waltz. Rostafa, thank you for your time and best of luck with this year's event.
Thank you so much, Jim. It's great to be back. And please, WDHA 105.5, support your local radio station. This is Rostafa.